From now on, we will study about the fifth type of clauses. The fifth type of clauses is constituted with a subject, a transitive verb, an object, and an objective complement. In the second type of clause, a subjective complement describes the condition of the subject. In the same way, the objective complement describes the condition of the object. In the fifth type of clause, the complement describes the subject or the object in the two ways. The objective describes the condition of the subject or object. An indication as a complement is only applied in a statement that the listeners understand the context. The indication as the objective complement. The objective complement to define the object is applied on the premise that the listeners understand the indication defines the object. The premise to reveal the context that a complement defines an object is revealed with the definition of the verb, of the transitive verb. The third of the fifth type of clause is classified into two. The first one is the objective complement as an indication, and the second one is the objective complement as a description. The speaker applies an indication to define the subject or a description to delineate the subject to practice the role of the subjective complement in the second type of clause. In the same context, the speaker applies an indication to define the object or a description to delineate the object to practice the role of the objective complement in the fifth type of clause. There is a clause. I call you a prince. This clause is an example of the integration between the fourth type and the fifth type when the objective complement is an indication. The objects as the listeners are able to be considered as the indirect object to get the definition of the transitive verb call and the direct object, a prince. Oh, sorry, I think I need to add a quotation. Sorry. So, in the perspective that the indirect objects get the definition of the transitive verb and the direct object, this clause can be considered as the first type of clause. With the consideration of the definition that the transitive verb call conveys, the intention of the speaker is able to be interpreted to define the objects indicated by the personal pronoun you into an indication of prince. So this clause can be considered as the first type of clause, the fifth type of clause. According to the definition of the transitive verb call, the speaker indicates an object as an objective complement to identify the object. With the perspective that the indirect object gets the definition of the transitive verb and the direct object that is equivalent to the indirect object, because the definition of the transitive verb call is applied to define the object with the objective complement. The two indications are equivalent to define the direct object, as the objective complement defines the indirect object. So the first type of clause and the fifth type of clause can be integrated according to the definition of the transitive verb. The speaker states the course that the speaker as the subject conveys the action indicated by the transitive verb call to the only listener who participates in the conversation in the clause. The listeners are considered as plural from the speaker, because the speaker considers the statement can be propagated at the present when the speaker states the clause in the conversation with or the listeners, and later then the conversation is finished. But the speaker who wants to identify, specify the listener with the determiner "a." The determiner "a" as an indefinite article indicates a random. So whoever hears this clause from the speaker, the listener, the speaker defines the object you with the phrase of a noun or prince as one of the indications to practice the role of the objective complement.